Hey guys, welcome back. This is Krista, and I am here to talk about the books that I read over this past week and what I will be reading this next week. So scared me. This is Spanky. Hi. His heart's beating really fast. Okay, so I finished Switched by Amanda Hawking, which I really enjoyed. I like this story a lot. I don't want to give too much away. It doesn't really says a lot of stuff on the back. It says, when Wendy Everly was 6 years old, her mother was convinced she was a monster and tried to kill her. 11 years later, Wendy discovers her mother might have been right. I call that book a combination of The Replacement by Brenna Yovanoff and the Fae series by Julie Kagawa. It kind of mixes a lot of the same elements together, but it does have a twist of its own on it, and I really enjoyed it. I love the characters, and I love the whole storyline and what happens to Wendy and who she meets when she goes to discover who she really is. So really recommend that one. Besides the mother trying to kill her, I really like the family dynamics in there. Her brother was just a complete sweetheart, and I wish we could all have brothers like that. So the next book I finished was Faye Kellerman's Gun Games. I was a little bit torn on how to exactly rate this one. It's told from different perspectives. They are trying to solve a mystery. There's been some suicides at a school, and one of the kids' mothers asked them to look into it because she doesn't believe he committed suicide. So they're looking into that, figuring out where he got the gun and what's going on. And then there's a story of Gabe, who's a 15-year-old boy. He's really just real sweetheart. He's really into music, plays the piano, and he falls in love with a young girl named Yasmin, and they become pretty serious. The only thing that I really didn't like that bothered me was that Yasmin's described as looking like she's between the ages of 10 and 12, but even though she's 14, and they end up, getting pretty serious sexually in the book, and it kind of, I don't really mind sex in books, but when the girl is described as looking like she's 10 years old, I kind of had a little bit of an issue with that. But I will type up a full review for that, and, otherwise, I really liked the part. I loved everything else pretty much in the book, but that kind of, but I noticed that Faye Kellerman really, really likes to detail what people are wearing, like down to their shoes, how their hair's done, what they're wearing, and I just thought that was really weird. Like, this story will stop just so she could spend a paragraph or so on what a person is wearing, even if they're not even a real character in the book. They're just somebody that walks through the door, says a statement, and leaves the story. So I thought that was really interesting. Another book that I finally finished, I've been working on this one for a while, and it's really no fault of its own. It was a pretty thick book, and it is Dark Territory by J. Gabriel Gates and Charlene Keel. I have been reading this one for a while now. I really do like the writing. I've read other books by J. Gabriel Gates, and I do enjoy his writing. I love his characters. Dark Territory is about a kid that moves to a new school, and it really reminded me of like the Karate Kid. He comes into this new school. There's kind of gangs set up, the Flatliners and I've already forgotten the name of the two gangs. But there's two, and they fight martial art skills. But there is a little bit of a supernatural twist to it, and I kind of, I enjoyed that. It is a pretty thick book, so it does take a while to read. I don't know how long I've been working on it, though. I can't remember, but I started reading it last year, a little bit at a time, and I liked that it was told from different perspectives. You get Allison's story as well as Ignacio's story, and they're told from different perspectives. There's some kidnapping going on, ransom notes, this dangerous tracks, they refer to as the Dark Territory. So, I really like the fighting in it. It was great action scenes along with this mystery and the kidnapping, plus the great characters. And he always has really great dialogue. You really can connect with the characters in his books, and I really recommend him. He's a great writer. The Toppers and the Flatliners are the gang groups. Another book that I read was by John Cummings, and it's called Ugly to Start With. It's a book of short stories. All the stories revolve around one kid in a town. It kind of deals with poverty, um, sexually maturing. There is some regular making out. There's a little bit of nudity in there, lots of swearing. Coming of age story told in short stories, different instances in a boy's life where he learns something, that will change his way of thinking, who he is. So I thought that was interesting. Overall, I thought the book was pretty well put together to show one boy's life. So you guys should check that out if you want. Another book that I read was Unnatural Law by Natasha Larry. This is the second book in her Darwin's Children series. I love these books. The characters are fantastic. I don't even know what to say about these books. There's just so much content in the books, which is great. This one, we get a little bit more into the other supernatural stuff going on. The vampires and this Devag Guard, which are fairies that kind of work with and against them. And JC, who is the main character, she has a psychokinetic power, and she's trying to rein in her powers and learn how to use them, and she's kind of really off balance right now, and it kind of deals with a whole family of people. There's really 6 characters that we get to follow their stories as they're trying to work out some kind of mystery, what's going on, as well as helping JC manage her powers. And there's just so much going on in these books. I really enjoy these books so much. One of my favorite reads, really. I really enjoy them. You guys should check them out. The first one is Darwin's Children, and I reviewed that one last year. And this one is Unnatural Law. And if you guys are into Kindle ebooks or whatever, these are great prices for what you get out of it. I really like that the family kind of comes together in these books, and the love interest is cute, and I love the main character, so you guys should definitely check those out. And then I read another series book. It's the sequel to High School Heroes. This is one that I reviewed again last year. I reviewed that one, High School Heroes, last year, and then I read High School Heroes 2. This is Camp Hero. These are by James Massia, and these are also pretty thick, good reads. This one has a lot of the development of the superpowers as well. We find out in book 1 there's been some mystery about the grandfathers being tested in a war, some medical procedure, or shots given to them or something. So now the grandkids are kind of taking on these superpowers, and they've been put into one school, and they get put into a school not really knowing that each other have these powers, and they're around normal people, but eventually they start to learn that there's a group of them. So in book 2 we get to see more of them working together than just Christina and Ethan. But I really love these characters. I love the dynamics, the dialogue, and they just work so well together, and they're really caring. It's like a comic book put into a novel form, really, and there's tons of really great fighting and action scenes and mystery happening. If you're into like superheroes and people with powers that, they can fly, they can move things with their mind, they can read, they can read each other's minds, they have visions, stuff like that really focuses on, superhuman powers. So that's what I've read this week. As far as what I'm reading now, I started the audiobook of Dearly Departed. So far, I'm enjoying it. I have a feeling I'm going to like this story. I've been really intrigued to read it since I first heard about it. I also started the audiobook of Tempest by Julie Cross, but it's at work, so I can't show you that right now. I'm going to be starting this one, Arch On by Sabrina Benulis. But this is one that's going to be like my bedtime reading, so it's probably going to take me a couple weeks to read through it, but that's what I do. I like to have several things going on at once, so I think that's it for now. Okay, so that's it for this week, and thanks for stopping by, guys. Thanks for watching, and happy reading. Bye!